All right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick's Strength and Power. So Cedric McMillan, who is a bodybuilder that typically doesn't post very often on social media during the off season, recently posted his first contest prep update going into the 2018 Mr. Olympia. So typically, like I said, he doesn't post very often, so this is a pretty big deal for him to show off this many poses, the front, the side, and the back, this close to the Olympia. Again, at this point, we're about 3 months out from the Mr. Olympia competition. And the last time we saw Cedric was unfortunately at his disappointing appearance at the 2018 Toronto Pro just a matter of weeks ago. So, of course, the obvious question here with Cedric is how is he going to look at the Olympia? Because based on what we saw in Toronto, he did not look very good. He was actually a very disappointing version of Cedric McMillan. And that's coming from me, who's a pretty big fan of Cedric. I think he's one of the better guys. In the men's open lineup, he's certainly one of the more aesthetic guys, although recently he has been struggling with his midsection a little bit. Now, a lot of people would call it a bubble gut. I would certainly not go as far as to say he has a bubble gut because I don't think he does at all. I think it's really just an issue of getting the midsection conditioned and holding water in that midsection, which typically tends to be a problem place for Cedric in terms of when he doesn't come in 100%. The water typically hangs around for him in his abs. And I think that's pretty apparent in these progress pictures here, because if you look at Cedric, really everything is dialed in on him in these off-season pictures, except for his midsection, really. The midsection, to me, is the only thing that really jumps out as potentially cloudy. That and the lower back a little bit, I would say, would be my two criticisms from a conditioning standpoint of these pictures. But overall, he looks good. He looks like Cedric. And again, the question here is how is Cedric going to look at the Mr. Olympia? And I think Cedric knows that is the question after Toronto. And that's why Cedric posted this, I believe. I think Cedric is confident in where he's at 12 weeks out from the Olympia. He knows he looks good 12 weeks out from the Olympia. So I'm sure he posted this to shut people up that were criticizing his appearance in Toronto for the lack of conditioning. He's letting people know, here we are 3 months out of the Olympia, and I'm already looking damn good. So I think that's why he posted this picture. And I think he does look very good for 12 weeks out of the Mr. Olympia. But only time will tell over the next 12 weeks how that conditioning pans out when it comes to the actual day of the show. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think Cedric is going to do well at this year's Mr. Olympia? And please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Nick Strength and Power, signing out.